Can you beat online poker in 2026? Yes, you can. G'day y'all, GumptionPoker here. Today, I'm going to show you how to do just that. We're playing 4 tables of 200 rush and cash on GG, streaming live on Twitch. Shout out to everyone tuning in. Shout out to Jogger1010. Thanks for the follow. I only just started the stream and we're not live yet, so they just got a nice intuition. And we'll just get some calm background beats on. I know it's controversial between a lot of you. So with no flush draw, I tend to go 1/3 a little more on a little bit of a disconnected board. So the King 9-2 and the Queen 9-5 are similar in my head. There's kind of some gut shots. There's an open ender on the Queen 9-5, but both of them don't have the flush draws either. And it's just a totally okay strategy to, at a high frequency go 1/3. And then we're going to start barreling some various runouts. The Ace-6, I think both of them are checkbacks. So the Ace-4, we want to think about getting 3 streets. Ace-4 doesn't want 3 streets, it wants 1 more street on most runouts. So it's nice to check back because we've got 9x, we've got pocket jacks, we've got, Jacks is probably checking back a fair bit, but we've got Queen X, we've got 5x, a lot of hands that simply just want to check back flop. And protecting the check back with an ace is nice. They can lead bluff rivers on brick runouts as well, so it's like a nice bluff catcher too. And we can see we're getting another street anyway from the 10-9 suited there, so we don't really, we didn't miss out on any value necessarily. Of course, we did give some free cards to 10-jack. Aggressive players may even, if they've mixed flop check raises, may even sometimes check raise turn, although I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor. But all of this stuff, goes into my decision to check back the weak Ace-X there. I'd still definitely be betting strong Ace-X. And I guess also the point of that is that we are betting quite polarized on the turn. Polarized meaning we're betting really strong or really weak. We're not going to go for a linear or merged bet strategy where we bet kind of medium strength hands. King 5, I probably should have gone for thin value at a position on the check down line, but not too big of a deal. Ace Queen, we flat pre. No, we didn't flat pre. We open and they donk, which is very strange. But easy call versus a donk. Very tricky spot on the river against this 96 VPIP. I'm going to call. I can put their stats on the screen here. So just a very loose player. Gonna expect them to show up with a very wide range of hands. This time they had ace queen off for the chop. Even that just makes no sense. So we're immediately going to note that because their logic is very different to our logic. And I need to factor that in now. Because I would think their hand is too strong to be a bluff, but too weak to be a value bet. But they don't, obviously, they're not on that way of thinking. They're on some other level to us. Just going to pot the King 4 here. I mean, I think it's fine. We both have some Queen X. I would rather just take the more aggressive line in general. Especially in these games, which I think play still a little bit passive. It's not, I've streamed... I started again after a long break in October at 50 NL with $500 deposit with the bankroll now over 50k. So, and I've streamed the 50 NL, the 100 NL, the 200 NL Russian cash, and the, the 50 NL is just absurdly under aggressive. But I think even all the way up to 200, it's still a little bit weak. And the jacks I probably should have value bet, or not value bet, but C bet. But all good. As played, I don't know, I'm just going to fold right away. That's such a weak play by me, but I just don't think they're going to just start bluffing there right away. But a big shout out and thank you to anyone watching this, tuning in. Appreciate you. I am trying to grow the GumptionPoker community. I'm going to thin value bet on the river here with the straight. They're going to call with some ace-x that check back some 2 pairs. And then we also blocker ourselves We don't have to check and decide. We can get called by worse enough. And there is this concept of being out of position where you can make small, thin bets. So this is the opposite to the situation earlier. In this situation, we're betting very thin and not polarized for a small size. Earlier, when I check back that ace-4 on the ace turn, I'm betting very polarized, only betting strong top pairs and better. Total opposite situation. Partly is because of position. So typically, when you're out of position, you want to go less polarized than in position. Or not necessarily that, but more that you can get away with betting more mergy out of position because you do not open up action by betting out of position, but in position you do. That's a large factor behind it. We're just going to set mine here with the 5s. Not peeling on the Jack 10 6, 3 overcards. Their bluffs have tons of equity against us with 2 overcards and gut shot or open ender even. Ace Queen. Interesting and close spot. I think we're doing okay on this. But I don't think, I don't want to bet too big. The connectivity of the board makes a hand like Ace King and Aces less powerful. Therefore, our range equities are closer together. Therefore, we use a smaller bet size. We're going to use bigger bet sizes. Usually when we've got some sort of top end range advantage, which we did there. We've got Kings. But really, that's it. I mean, we both have Jacks. They might have some 9s, we might have some 9s. It's sort of equal underneath, aside from top set there. So it's not much of a range advantage, only a couple of combos. So the Ace-7-5, we're going half pot. There's a flush draw out there. We don't have this, very different to Ace-King-5, where we have a top end advantage. We'll start playing a big bet right away. This one, they've got 7s, Ace-7 just as much. What's up, my coach, Chan Jet? Thanks for tuning in. We could check back turn, we can bet turn. Either way, we're going to check back river. So it just depends on, like, I don't think they're going to bluff me on the river enough for me to want to check back this hand. I think they'll keep calling with worse hands. I don't think they're going to bluff raise me enough for me to worry about having to bet fold. So I just get to bet against a really tough player. I don't get to bet there. So these are the kind of adjustments we can make against a weaker pool that aren't playing aggressively enough. And the 10-9, I kind of missed what happened. Yeah, I guess they went bet. We just had a lot of equity at every point. So I think that hand played itself. Our hand was too strong to turn into a bluff on the river. Shout out to Hannah, grinding a lot. Man, every time I'm on, they're in it. Doing a lot of limping blind on blind in a pool where they can fast fold a BB. So I think it makes sense. Oh, and I just realized we must be live, so I should probably activate streamer mode. There we go. Shout out to everyone tuning in. I do appreciate you all a lot. It is Tuesday. The plan is to stream every Tuesday, Friday, and most Saturdays, with a couple of bonus streams here and there. So I'm going to go big bet on the King, Queen, 8. We don't have to do that, but I like to. Again, we've got that top end advantage, having Kings, Ace, King, Aces, Queens. Get the Ace turn, and yeah, so very similar to earlier, betting very polarized on the turn. Ace-7 not strong enough in my mind. The Kings, we're just going to c-bet a quarter pot just over. Ace-7, we have a decision to make on the river. Really nice spot for them to play some check raises. My ace isn't kicking. I make a really tight check back. I actually think they might check back pure, and there we go. Sorry, I was thinking they would check pure with their value here, and we are 100% correct. You love to see it. This is where the edges come from too. It's not just about these huge pots where you win money, right? It's in the minutia. So that, to me, that check back really punishing and dominating their strategy there. because we would have called river most likely, and we will note. And yeah, we're going to value bet here with the ace king. I'm going to go pot. It's hard for us to have too many bluffs here. We're going to have to turn some things into bluffs. I like to go pot. I just think they're going to play fairly inelastic versus 70% versus pot. I think it's a similar calling range. Big shout out to Vency QQQ. Thanks so much for the follow. RBM975 Big GL Nocky New South Wales tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Good to see you. Thank you all. King 7 deuce, nice board, disconnected. We're going to go for our 1/3 c-bet strategy. The queen 3 we can go for a small value bet as played. We should have probably bet sooner, but not a huge deal. Didn't make a difference in this scenario. Vents, QQQ, hey Jill, on your session, how do you study mostly? Over the years, been a mix of coaching, some courses, solver work, reviewing hands, that kind of stuff. Fish FF017 with the results. Apologies, the Discord has my last month's results. Feel free to jump in there and look in the announcements tab. I have been up to date with that. I just keep forgetting to update the command on stream. Lovely flop for us here. We flat pre-flop top set. We're going to do a decent amount of calling and not a ton of raises. Speaking of raising, we're going to go for a little bit of a raise on this queen deuce. We're going to use the 2 with some backdoor flush draws sometimes to do that with. The idea is blocking some sets, and we've got tons of trips. And on this turn, we're going to go very polar, right? So we can bet big as well. Even an overbet, I think, is... I mean, our hand wants to overbet. I just don't think our range necessarily wants to. But interesting that they check fold on the king. It's not a bad card for their range. But yeah, we kind of couldn't do anything different. Ace 9 can go either way. I'm going to call. They made it pretty small. Yeah, I don't know how crazy they're playing it. There's only 8 hands, 9 hands on them. So I kind of want to realize my equity, see a flop. They get a very good board for their 3-bet range. I think I'll just fold right away, though it seems close. The king 8, I think, can go either way between bet and check. The 6 and the 7's interesting because there's some offsuit potentially. 6-7 offsuit, king 7 off maybe coming from the BB. That makes me want to see better less, but maybe they're not with the rake structure. It's kind of, it's hard to know. Some people will play it very differently. Some people will call way too wide, some others don't. And whenever there's offsuit 2 pairs, it's more relevant for like a blind on blind situation. But I just want to be careful about betting like my weakest kings. And against pot, I think it's actually close because they're quite short between jam or call. I think I'll just call. Hard to imagine they have too much weaker king X than me to value bet, so I think I just beat bluffs mainly, and then doesn't seem like they have a ton of like 10x to bet. Sorry, I missed the 10-9 to explain, but it was just a really nice spot to check raise, I think. GL on the session, thank you, eyeballs. Appreciate you as always. Let's see. So the suited connectors can be 3-bet sometimes in position. King 10 is close. I do want to play quite polarized with my 3-bet strategy in position. So it's a pre-flop thing that's very much similar to what I was talking about at the start of the stream, where we don't, you know, we close action by calling, so we really have a big incentive to call, and therefore like medium strength hands aren't as interested in 3-betting and then getting 4-bet. Vince QQQ has subscribed for 1 month. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. So therefore we want to 3-bet like really strong hands, obviously, in BB vs SB. If we have aces, we're 3-betting, but then really weak hands, something like King 6 offsuit, King 7 offsuit, I think is a good one. And yeah, just go for a small raise and go for pot bet and the Queen 8 versus the check down. Could also, I mean, maybe not the backdoor flush. I would maybe play a check raise with it, but I'm less interested in check raising the lower my relative hand strength gets. But I think pot's good. They're going to have some King X that does check back. They're going to call sometimes with Queen and 10X too. And yeah, small raise works. They call with Queen Jack, which is cool and worth noting because that was pretty thin. But yeah, thank you again everyone for tuning in. After a few years break from poker, I came to return in October and decided to try this whole streaming thing. It's been going quite well, but of course I do need to keep growing, so yeah, all of you tuning in, that really helps me out. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate that a lot too. Trying to grow however I can, try and make this whole streaming thing worth it. We'll see. We'll see. Things have been picking up lately. There was a couple of weeks ago I was wondering if it was maybe I'm giving too much away for essentially free, but you know, there seems to be a bit of love happening lately. So let's keep trying, keep pushing, see how this will all pan out. They're going to defend the King 9 off against a button open. 9-8-3, interesting board. I think, yeah, this sort of half pot, roughly size, I think seems good for this board. Ooh, this Ace Jack's in a pretty gross situation there. They look pretty nitty. The standard play is to call there. King 9's like close to wanting to raise it, and maybe it does sometimes. But in this instance, I chose to just call, and I think I can just pot river. This is probably one of my weakest value bets on the river, but don't forget we've got some 10 Jack that didn't raise, and some heart stuff that wants to bluff. So I think the King kicker on the 9 is decent. We see them calling with Ace 10 off. Don't love the call. Like, they do unblock the hearts, but really having the 10 seems like a really poor choice to bluff catch with, to me. When you bluff catch, you want to think about either your raw sort of hand strength. So if you're just very high up in your range, you've got, you know, a strong hand. Obviously, that's an easy call. Maybe you're beating even some of the value bets. Easy call. The other thing to think about is your blockers. And I think their hand there had fairly poor blockers. And yeah, easy call here with the Ace King. I don't, you know, the turn's very bad for me, but I just have so much equity, and it's conceivable that I do beat some value hands, which, like in this case, King 10, King Jack maybe. You know, they're so short, they're just going to put the money in. Maybe even like Ace Queen would just side shove. We do hold. We're going to check back the queens. What program it is, hand to note. Sorry, I don't know the context. HS Meepa. I was using Drive Hard. I've heard really good things about hand to note, been meaning to check it out, but CoinPoker have announced no more HUDs. And so there's no HUDs on GG either, so I don't know if I'm going to use anything, but I was using Drive HUD 2 on Coin. Coin was is the main place I play on as well. I might load up some CoinPoker's tables in a bit up on stream here too. I'm going to go 1BB versus the check back here, and the aces, I'm going to go 1/3. And yeah, I'm just going to try and show down my 8 now as played. And we lose probably the minimum versus the jack there, which is nice. Rake's too high for me to call that one there. Let's check back the jacks. I mean, betting it's very, very standard. I think if I was button, I'd still go ahead and bet it, but I think we can... I mean, top set's just the classic one to check back, and on such a dry board, it is a very classic hand to check back. Hard to imagine I'm beat very often here with the aces. They have to call with 6s and 3s. I don't think King Jack check raises flop. I don't think Jack's check raise flop. I block the ace of heart combos that I'm worried about completing on the river, so I think nothing to do but call. I am guessing they just have ace-king here, and they just kind of played it in a strange fashion. But, you never know, they could just have sixes, but yeah. Yeah, I would be surprised if they... This is a very weird one, but I think I just need to value bet. So 4, 5, 7 are really bad, a relatively bad board for my cutoff range compared to their big blind, so I'm going to check back a ton. They can play some leads here, many people don't, that makes their checking range even stronger. I think the 10 kick is good enough though. I'm going to start betting the turn card here. And yeah, they do check raise, bet, fold, very strange kind of a line. Simba 2005-28, thank you so much for tuning in, I appreciate you. Queen Jack 8, it's going to be too loose to just bet this multi-way. I mean, they've got, big blind's got 10-9 off, so I'm always thinking about like what offsuit does what. Offsuit's going to be the biggest portion of the range. Now I can bet turn, I've got enough equity. And the ace-5, I can check raise sometimes on this board. Yeah, let's do it. And then we do get there, although they lead on the board pair, which is kind of annoying. I'm going to go for a small raise. And the ace-5 on the ace turn, I'm going to check. I am not going to get a better hand to fold if I bet, so I don't think betting accomplishes very much. And yeah, I just get to check call this and then decide on rivers. The 5 of clubs is a really bad card to have in our hand. That blocks a lot of their busted draws. I do think the ace is a card that they may want to like bet a bit on. Doc Nomus, good luck playing 4 tables rush NL200, explaining nearly every move. I'm impressed every time. Well, cheers, man. I appreciate that. This ace-5 spot is really tricky. I'm going to time bank this one for sure and, you know, sit out these other ones. To think about this, yeah, we block a lot of the natural bluffs. You know, the queen jack, the jack 10s of clubs. The issue is, like, a lot of the bluffs are just suited club combos, which is very, very few combos. But we also block a lot of the stuff that... I don't know. I don't know about that one. I could be convinced either way there. They do have ace king, and they do have, well, one combo of 3s, one combo of 6s. It's possible they bet call hands like ace queen with the queen of club type stuff on the flop, maybe. But ace king combos, even though we block a lot of them, there's still a fair bit relative to like the bluffs, because to me the bluffs there are like, you know, the clubs, which we block a lot of. So, well, not a lot, but the 5 of club blocks some, and then it's just the suited Broadway ones, which don't even always bet turn. And I do need to keep in mind that people are just playing too tight in general. And also my range is like, looks like busted draws sometimes. Because I'm not check raising too many not like that much king X on the flop to check call turn. So I think my range also just looks like, I'm still going to pot river here. I think it's a okay value bet with king 9, but one of my weaker value bets. They don't have a ton of 8x or 6x in their range. They do sometimes, but again, it's all suited combos, so there isn't that many combos. And they've got some overpairs that check back to call with. They've got some smaller flushes, maybe, if they check that back. But yeah, interesting spot. So the ace-5 of clubs, we also, yeah, just have like a fairly polarized range to check call on the turn, like some draws and then some like weird traps, like Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I guess what I'm getting at is they may even want to check back queen high busted draws because it probably has some showdown. The 4 deuce. Let's go check raise. It's a pretty good board for us. We got the backdoor. And verse a check back on queen jack 4. I'm going to start over betting. And we do pick up the additional draw here. I'm going to go pot. I really want to build the pot with the larger stacks in play. The aces. We're going to check queen 3 deuce a fair bit. Yeah, we just get to jam river here now. We got very lucky, and there's a reason why we choose equity to play with. We're going to bet the king about half pot here. Go half pot again on the river. Oh! I thought we got lucky, but turns out we got very unlucky with them also hitting the back door. But it is what it is. I'm going to go half pot for some thin value here with aces. I don't think we're going to induce that many bluffs if we check. And again, out of position, we can make bets that are a little bit thinner. So I like the play there. Smeeble, howdy, howdy, howdy. Evening, mate. Good luck on the session today. Thank you so much, Smeeble. Appreciate you tuning in. The 10-7's an easy fold on a board that we need to have a king or a jack in our hand to continue on. Everyone has a straight there in their range. The ace 10 seems super close. They've played 0 from 5. Like, I kind of want to fold pre. Queens, I'm just going to jam now. It is what it is. The cold call. This dude plays really weird. I'm just going to jam. I think my hand's strong enough. If they got it, they got it. Potentially the cold call is a fold sometimes, which is just huge for us. And the cold 4-bet's going to have ace king, going to have jacks, going to have, you know, maybe ace queen as a bluff. This is huge if they fold, you know, 50 bigs added. That's massive. And what happened here with the ace 10? They check back flop. Let's go for turn check raise. Yeah, we can run it twice. What do they have? They've got jacks, so nice loose call, I think, from their perspective. Oh, we managed to hold after what was looking like a chop. Very happy to see that. Fours on the button. I think with this rake structure, I'm not a fan of flatting. However, both players in the blinds not really 3-betting much, so that's going to really skew me toward. Of course, we get 3-bet, but like, just so you know, like, look, 800 hands, 4% 3-bet, right? Like, do we have enough? I think because we're deep here, we actually still get to call. There's the extra dead money here as well. Yeah, let's just call. Got some, like, the fact that they're tighter on, I should have probably limped the king 3. The fact that they're tighter on their 3-bets makes the 4s kind of nice and easy to play. We got position as well, which is very relevant. The ace 10, we're going to start with a check. Did they limp pre though? What happened here? Need to check. Oh no, they 3x. I was wondering why the pot was a little bigger. And the ace jack versus a 3.5x. Feels close. I guess I call. And yeah, we can call versus a check back, I think, with the ace 10. Ace jack's very happy to try and check down the 9. Let's go one. Oh, we ISO'd. Let's go half pot. Very close spot here with the ace 10. They have such a tight opening range. It is only 9 hands. I think I'll call versus half pot. And I'm going to jam the 9s in. Sorry if I can't, I'm not, I got a nice compliment from you, Doc Nomis, but I can't always get there in time with the explanations. They were short, which is why I just chose to stack the 9s. I just feel like I can beat some of their value. Let's go more than pot, I think, on the river here with king 10. Yeah, let's go 2x. I think, yeah, it does get called. Like, they're gonna they have a lot of ace high. And I think I just get snapped when I go pot, and I just feel in a weird spot there with a bluff where I'm like, is my pot bet just getting called a ton here by ace high? So I like to go 2x pot there, put the pressure on with ace high a bit, but they snap call me anyway, so maybe I should start 3xing with my bluff zone value. Try and find a point where they actually are nearly going to fold or do fold ace high. Trying to not use up time banks willy-nilly, but I think I just used one in a fairly trivial spot. Looks like they donked flop multi-way though, so it's kind of tough spot. Get cold called by this nit. Just going to check the ace 10, see what happens. King 6-3 is pretty good for me. I'm going to bet half pot. I check a decent amount here, but they got a high VPIP, so that's telling me they got a wider range. Got the backdoor straight draw to go with it. But sus that they raise flop, but I'm not going to bother with air, essentially. Ace 10, they do check back. Tempting to maybe start blasting off, but they can have 9s and queens here that check back. And I mean, they got a very strong range to cold call. The ace I can block. I'm just going to block this one because I think they have some ace king and some traps. And first check back. Yeah, I like my jack kicker. I think I'll go pot here. I'm going very polarized on the turn. Betting hands like queen 10, jack 10. A lot of ace x checking. So maybe even like 2x is nice on the turn. And yeah, they have ace king and our block bet works. We lose less. This feels really close. I think 2x is okay. I'm just going to note that they cold called with the ace king. And I think it was maybe a little bit too thin to try and value bet the 4 here. That certainly feels close as well. But a big shout out and thank you to everyone tuning in. So yeah, classic bluff catcher situation with our king 6 here. This is not like an amazing spot. We see them go just over half. Seems okay with the flush draw out there. And they can play some overbets on the turn after we call. Yep, we see them go ahead and do that. 6 is really unfortunate. It blocks, well, maybe it's not too bad actually. Yeah, this one's already going to be a mix on the turn. I think unblocking the spades, I think it's okay to call it sometimes. But you can certainly just fold turn right away as well. And yeah, we just have a fold on the river here. I need to be blocking and have some spades in my hand. I'm just, again, right? When we're thinking of what hands to bluff catch with, we want to think about either our relative hand strength, which in that situation low, or we want to think about our blockers, which in that situation bad. So easy fold. You know, sometimes playing Russian cash, playing lots of hands, just use the solid fundamentals to make your decisions really easy. Instead of umming and ahhing, thinking about, are they going to bluff that? You can just be like, oh, you know what? My hand doesn't meet any of the criteria. In a spot where they can just have it a lot too. They're very uncapped. Close one in there with the 10-9, ran out of time bank. The kings, bad beat jackpot territory. Let's hope they've got pocket jacks and we see the ace river. Not this time. They're probably 3-betting the jacks a ton. Oh, wait. Oh, they cold called behind. Yeah, proper bad beat territory. Although I think they check back a decent amount with him. Well, they check back with ace queen. Thankfully, no ace game. That would have been disastrous. Easy call with the king 9 versus check back. They do check river. I think we have enough showdown value. I'm not going to try and get them to fold a jack, and they might have some traps too. There you go. Jacks can 4-bet, or it can flat. I'm going to 4-bet this time. I think think either way is fine. King 4, and yeah, bad board for us. And the 7 BB, when we're in position, is just small enough for us to... Ooh, we like seeing the jack there. They've got ace 4 suited, so I'm very glad that we took the 4-bet line. Fours... Yeah, once they check, I'm just going to check back. It is... Well, yeah, I kind of regret the check back. I think I played too quickly. I think they're heavily skewed toward the jacks, queens, kings, and I would have liked to have gone a couple streets, but maybe I still get to do that, eh? Like, let's go 9 BB here and then bet again river. Because if we've got ace queen, ace jack, we're probably checking back sometimes on the flop. Interesting that they just fold, so I'm going to note that. Ace king. We, assuming we 3-bet check call. Yep. Fairly standard. So we could also bet. Ace king's gonna be a mix and go in either line, and a few different ways to think about this spot. One way is to build your range around the overpairs and the ace king, like 3-4 bet pots kind of situation. They go bet check bet. Interesting. It is tempting to jam here. I think I kind of want to... I think I almost... Yeah, I might play the jam. Sometimes not having the ace of hearts is better, because then if they have like ace queen with the ace of hearts, I know we beat that anyway. They might want to like bluff that one. King of hearts blocks a ton of their flushes. I think checking back a lot of their flush draws on the turn is very reasonable. We can also play check calls with ours sometimes. So it seemed like a pretty nice spot. And it did work out this time. Let's go. The goat is up. Cheers, Sasha. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support and for tuning in. Let's limp the ace 2 blind and blind. We do see them fast folding, so nice to find that spot. So we've called 4-bet the queens. We're going to range bet this one really small. We've got a pretty big range advantage here. We got all the ace kings, kings, aces. They can have the aces a lot. Ace king mixed. Like we've got that pure. So we just got a nice advantage. And yeah, I mean, I think it's too thin to value bet turn. So just a pretty easy check with our hand, and we can decide. I think against this player, I want to V-pip this 6s. Yeah, let's 3-bet it. The BB's looking a little bit active. I think probably fine. It's a tough one, actually. I guess I fold. Seems close, though. It's not really a spot where I expect them to want to float and fight back a ton. 6s we're going to try and get to showdown. I chose to not bet. I think I'm getting called a lot by their tight range, because they're 3xing. They're also low attempt to steal. You can see 25. PFR only 13. So they're doing pretty well here. I don't know what this means. I'll just note it, that they call 3-bet. Check back the drawy board, then went hot on the turn. So very strange, but against a net, I'm not, trying to put in a bunch of money against their aggression. Sasha, explaining in such a thoughtful and insightful way to my man is unmatched as a poker streamer. Thank you, man. I appreciate those very, very kind and very generous words. Doing my best, so yeah, appreciate that a lot. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too and appreciate it. And of course, the best way to give back to me and the stream is by signing up on CoinPoker with code GUMPTION. You'll get some cool deposit bonuses. You'll get free coaching if you want it. I think I just... maybe, you know what, I kind of regret the check there. Because we actually 3-bet the suited connectors a decent amount. 6-7 suited, 8-9 suited. We got the ace of hearts, so I think I can go check raise here. Do expect them to bet this size with a ton of hands. So I do expect a lot of bet folds. This ace queen seems really close as well. We ran out of time bank to think about it. But I can get behind a call there with it. Whatever, folding's fine too. Breeze is not an open UTG in the rake structure. AKA very high rake. Which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. And speaking of best way to support the stream on CoinPoker and being able to open wide, I like the ante games on Coin, although the low pocket pairs are kind of weak with the antes. Just the way the games play, lower SPR. You want more blocker heavy opens. But yeah, I might open up a couple of CoinPoker tables maybe later on in the sesh as well. Because it is the main site I play on. It'd be cool to show you guys those games too. Kings, I mean, whatever. Let's just 4-bet. We don't have to go that big. They're a little bit shorter. Jack 10. We're definitely going to V-pip. I don't know if we want to raise just yet. That's half pot. Guess I call. I kind of regret the call. I think maybe raise is good because of the position and stack size. Like, we can just check raise ace queen. But yeah, now it's kind of easy as played. Probably go B75 seems okay. Just targeting like jacks. Oh, sorry, like, well, yeah, jacks and 10s. I kind of should have thought about this because we block a lot of it. They just have ace high. I probably should have just gone 1/3. Because now I'm mainly just getting ace highs to fold. I block the 10s and jacks. This is a size to get 10s and jacks to fold. So I kind of regret this. I should have gone 1/3. But it worked out anyway. But maybe, you know, I think too weak to go 3 streets. Just going to check back the queen 10. And yeah, we're definitely going to 3-bet the queen jack suited. Playing linear from the small blind. We don't close the action, different to BB. So we just 3-bet linear, 3-bet the strongest hands in our range and fold the weakest. Davey, hope you're well, mate. Wishing you good luck. Hey, cheers, man. Appreciate you. Lots of kind words today. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate the pump up. Especially since we've been on just a little bit of a downswing on the Russian cash. Like, not much. I'm not going to complain. But, you know. So, like, yeah. We can 3-bet king 3 off. Going super polar. I should have gone bigger because we're deep. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. But this is the idea, right? Super weak and super strong. But thank you everyone again. Appreciate all of the support, all the views, and everyone in particular who's signed up to Coin using code Gumption. Appreciate that so much. Get the auto fold, which is nice. So here's an interesting one. We get the cold 4-bet. We just go through the notes here. This is really just player dependent. I'm gonna fold, I think. Just depends on who these players are. Jack's like, it's against good aggressive players, you stack this for sure. I'm just not sure if it's happening. We can lead the 6-9-5 sometimes. I'm going to go ahead and do it this time. I like playing leads, but it doesn't really matter if you don't. And then we get to pot turn once they just smooth call. Pot river. Do they ever flat sets straights? Probably not. Let's overbet. Solid fold queen queen against a net. Thank you, Mang. There's kind of enjoying the chill stream vibes. I'm a new player. What's the best way to go about learning how to play different flop textures, like paired boards versus connected versus ace high? I don't know where to learn the heuristics. Good luck in your games. Well, thank you for the kind words. And you're asking the right questions, Descana. I would be looking at solver outputs and trying to figure out why certain hands want to do certain things. And go from there. So, and then, you know, node lock and take hands in and out, look at the positions, just kind of see how it's all affecting. We get a 20 BB cash drop pot. It's not Russian Cash Friday, and we get ace king suited, and we get a 35 BB jam. This is what dreams are made of, and we get a flush in the small pot there. Hey, we're doing well. We're gonna go B40 on the ace 9-8. Nothing to do but jam our ace king. Loving life. 100 bigs in the middle against 10-9. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah. Oh, they hit their 9. Did they not want to run twice? Shout out to you, Descana. I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully that answers your question a little bit. But you're certainly asking the right stuff. Can we get the Jack of Diamonds on the turn? That would be nice. Oh, we just get a king. I prefer that over Jack of Diamonds. We need a low card now. And we do get it. King Jack probably should just bet, but I was just thinking about that cash drop sweat pot. And what a one to take. What even happened here? We 3-bet and they cold call. My time banks are just... There's not much I can do about the time banks, is there? I'm going to check back. I think betting's totally okay too. Could go either way. As played, I'm just going to fold. And then I'll go half pot here with the King Jack. Another time bank gone. Man, this is... Yeah, I got a... Who was it? Doc Nomus saying that I commentate well. Well, I feel like I'm a mess when I try and do this floor table. I'm like all my time banks are always just going out the window, but do my best. Ace 3 blind on blind, we can peel. Ace of hearts 2, which is helpful. And then verse 2 barrel, we just fold. We're blocking the flush draws as well with our suits now. And then ace king. Yeah, I mean, well, this is really weird. I think this can be nutty. Can it be nutty? I think the benefit to them going that size is that we get to call a lot, and yeah, so I've got position 2. So I'm just gonna take the really lovely price, utilize my position, and just call my hand. Get a really nice board. I don't see them playing that many check raises on this board, so I think we just get to go small. Really often. We've got the jacks, 10s, 8s pure. Well, not pure, but a lot. I don't know how often we're 3-betting like 8s pre-flop, to be fair. This turn card, I mean, I can try get them off some ace king, but that's it. So I'm just going to realize some equity here. What about just one coin table, get rid of one rush table? I think that's a fantastic idea. Or even keep a coin cable in the back of a bullet over stream and head of no. I don't think I can 4-table rush and play. I can't do that. But I like your idea. I might try that. I'll set that up soon. Tough one here. I mean, I can play some jams because I've got the jacks and 10s at a very high frequency. I don't think they fold aces. They can also just have jacks and 10s to check call with. This feels like a really close spot, like I almost want to shove here. I don't know why, I'll just fold. I think it's just a feeling. Maybe the feeling is just being scared though, which wouldn't be good to react on, but I am a big believer in instincts and feelings in poker, believe it or not. And it just felt something was up. Let's go half pot. So typically on these straight type boards we go half pot or B40-ish. As an okay strategy. Oof, this kind of sucks with 7-8. I'm actually going to fold right away. Like, it's the bottom straight. We got to play it behind. I don't know. Yeah, I think folding there's totally okay. What will you do when you face a 40 days downswing? Mate, we're not playing MTTs for a reason. I don't have to face 40-day downswing. I don't think that's possible in cash, is it? But, you know, I've placed some huge downswings. So again, like I started $500 deposit back in October, streaming everything. Bankroll now over $50,000, which I'm pumped about. And did quite well at 50, moved up to 100, and this was all when I returned to poker after a few years off. I studied tournaments thinking I'd play that, and randomly was like, let's play some cash and stream it. And I moved up to 100 and got crushed. I went on, I think I was 40 buy-ins alone under all in EV. Like, I lost tons. It was all streamed. And so you guys, you saw firsthand. I'm not saying I dealt with it perfectly, because the stream qualities went to shit, but we got through it. We hit the lab, we improved, we studied, we realized, we learned lessons, came back strong and started crushing. And yeah, everyone's gonna hit the downswings. Really just matters how you deal with them. Let's see what happened here with the Queen Jack, then we'll get to the chat. So they 3-bet pre, okay, then they bet small. Okay, so I can just go, I think I want to bet decently big on the turn. I don't know if that's correct though. That's a spot I'd need to study more. Let's read through the chat here. We're gonna go half pot on the Queen high. You're teaching us a lot about poker here on YouTube, an absolute legend in the field. You're the only streamer that says and plays. You're very underrated. Well, thanks so much, man. Appreciate that a lot. It's very kind words. Cash game player here. There are some tournament players doing it. Well, who are the tournament players doing the explanations? I'd love to check them out. I should mostly bet turn here with the King Queen, I think. Underrated comment. Well, thank you, Zylu, as well. And thank you, It's Friday Night 99. You're a legend. 10's not a great river. They've got 10's 3 combos now. But yeah, I think I just go B75 as played. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably... I kind of just forgot how the pool is. Like, I should just bet turn, I think. Do you ever size down to induce calls, like on the 5-5 set hand, or do you always keep your size relative to hand strength, like I size up because I beat value and play the same if you had a bluff? 100%. So that's like a bit more fun of a thing to do on CoinPoker as well, because it's reg table, so there's a bit more dynamics happening and stuff, and leveling in general more than rush and cash, right? But absolutely, I'm a huge fan of that. But what I think what it's more about is I more think about, like, if I want to protect certain ranges and if my opponent's capable of punishing that. Like, if I want to play a lot of blockers with a lot of blocky hands and my opponent's good enough to recognize that and may want to turn hands into bluffs and such, then I will. So in that sense, yes. But I think it's less like, oh, I'm going to go small here. Like, that may be the outcome, to go small to induce, for sure, but I want to do it in a situation where I want to go small, and therefore I do the trap to protect the range that's doing that, if that makes sense. So a little bit more of a holistic, like, overall view, like, overall strategy, not just like a singling out one little bit of the strategy, like, I'll bet small to induce. It's like, oh, is this a spot where I'm doing a lot of small betting? Okay, then I might... I mean, when you have strong hands, you kind of want to put them in every line in many cases to protect those lines. Relax, I don't think anybody would complain if you're quiet for half a minute. Yeah, cheers, man. Like, I did feel that in case, for example, they would call something like 28 BB, got a 1 to bluff, would go 50 plus. I know this is unbalanced, but do you ever consider this, especially versus RNC pool? So, if anything in the RNC pool, I try and be a little bit more consistent, I would say. I mean, in general. But I think it is a great idea to, you know, bet and play what you think is best versus your opponent. But, you know, the 200 Russian cash players are very good. And, you do want to... I think some of the obvious stuff like that would probably work super well at lower stakes, especially. But I think once you even start going past 50, they start to be a bit clued on to it, or a lot of players will be. But yeah, overall, I think it's a very good idea. If you can get away with it, absolutely do it. I like to have... I'm really trying to think about poker in a very holistic way, and I'm trying to move up and keep playing higher and higher, and not develop bad habits or like lazy stuff that might work well but isn't, you know, gonna culminate in a very sort of rounded game that I can keep improving and moving up higher and higher and still play against tough opponents with. That's my goal. It's what we're trying to do. So far it's going well. I had a positive win rate at CoinPoker last month at 500 over there, which is, I mean, in EV. So I'm quite proud of that and hope to continue doing that, and yeah, hopefully can move up to 1k NL soon. But yeah, we really just keep doing what we're doing. But appreciate all the kind words, all the support. Thank you all. King 9. Just looking at some of the 3-bet frequency. Ooh, they're kind of high. I'm going to fold. Whereas here, oh, BB's 20%. Although you only need one player for it to have a low 3-bet to justify opening wider usually. But yeah, always trying to ideally look at who's behind and adjust ranges based on that. Ace 10's a standard call. This player's playing super nitty though. But I think with this sizing and this price and position, we're just going to call. King 4's a loose open, but looks like some weaker player in the small blind. And Ace 10, we'll just go small bet here. I'm never going to get 3 streets, but I don't mind just punishing this kind of check strategy that they have that I'm guessing is not well thought out. So as you can see, very nitty player playing a very nitty strategy. We get a fun player flatting behind, but yeah, Ace 10 just too weak. Even though I think Meowth would and should and will be, or should and would be 3-betting extra wide there. I'm not going to go silly with Ace 10 off. Easy defend with King 9 against the button. We're just going to call this one. We're just in bluff catcher territory. King's great, but it's not like a insane money card or anything. It's a really good card, don't get me wrong, but we're not strong enough to check raise. So we will just continue calling. Ace Jack's close, I'll call versus the half pot, but yeah, pretty close. Now we got a really nice river and we can stack, but I think... interesting actually. Are they going to bet? I think they will bet the Queen X still. Certainly Ace Queen's still betting. So I just get to check jam. Yes, I'm a cash player. My EV line always be positive, but I lose my money because of bad luck. Don't we all only lose because of bad luck, right? And yeah, just going to jam the King 9. There are reg tables on GG2. That is true. And a very quick fold. So either a bluff or a bear queen. Very happy about my check there. Instead of playing any kind of a lead. And we did get a very nice run out for our hand. Gonna limp blind on blind. King 10 on this board. Let's check it back. I think it's quite close. And I'm gonna size up a little bit with the aces. Ooh, I like this small bet here. Guess I call it. Big shout out to Chris Wang. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Should have bet the 6-7. Not a big deal. The queen we're going to check back a lot on. Thanks for a very insightful answer for real. Thank you. Appreciate it. No worries, Sasha. Appreciate you. Let's bet the 6-7 now. Against this size, I think we can raise. Although it's a little bit weird. I think I can bet the B75, the King 10 as well, just to target 6 and 7x. Oh, are they inducing me here? I don't know. Let's find out. It's, you know, I don't love raising because I'm so capped, but like, yeah, you can see they fold. Like, some good players will shove there, and it's, you know, I'm in a tough spot. So that's a one where you know, that's a nice little block to induce. But my hand was just so strong, and against that size, I'm doing so well. But hey, maybe it's still a bad play if they're only going to go over the top and never call with worse. They did fold. They did bet fold. But in that case, a nice bluff spot. But I will note the play. The ace 7. The king turn is actually really nice for them. We've also got the ace of spades, but board's starting to pair. Ace 8 I should have 3-bet, but whatever. I feel like in lower stakes it's worth doing that kind of stuff since people overfold to big sizes, but holistically it's going to develop some bad habits, I agree. Yeah, and I mean, some people, yeah, I mean, you'll find that, like, once you start playing, yeah, I mean, people do overfold to the big bets, that's true. So, yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. So we go small bet. They just call. I'm just going to go B75. I think they're just going to keep check calling their draws and like some Jack X and not really put any pressure on. Let's 3-bet the aces here. Lovely squeeze spot. The 7-5. The limped pot. I guess I call. Nice river. I don't know if I want to check raise. I think I'll just lead the river. And it's going to get a bit dicey if we check raise, I think. Does the 4s hold? It somehow holds. We love to see that. Feels like it's maybe coffee break time. It's been a lovely power hour. I may need to quickly fuel up. Yeah, it feels like a good time. I'm going to go grab some fuel. I'll be back very soon. I will put a rerun on for you all to enjoy while I make a coffee. I'll be back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. The 6-7, especially deep, we're going to do some calling here. It's a mix. This time we decide to call it. But yeah, I'll be back soon, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it a lot. Please don't forget to check out CoinPoker using code Gumption. Nice deposit bonuses. Free coaching from myself if you're into that. It would mean a lot to me. Best way to support me. And shout out to Junie Juniors. Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Pretty standard check call with our 7-8. Turns very bad for us and very good for them, so they should barrel a lot. They also have ace-queen in their range. They've also got ace-king. And we unblock the hearts. It's really close. I think in a UTG cutoff scenario, they're still going to be relatively tight. And so I'm going to fold here, but I think calling, I mean, it's maybe okay. But yeah, chose to fold this one. I'll be back soon. Thank you again, everyone. Throw the rerun on. What up, everyone? This is what solid winning poker looks like. GumptionPoker here. I've been beating the rush and cash games post-rake since I returned to poker back in last October, and today I'm going to go through some spots. And shout out to you all tuning in. Let's jump into the action. Should get a couple hours of play here, so hopefully a good day. Got Russian Cash Friday promo going. So this is the only day that I play purely on GG, otherwise my main volume is, of course, over at CoinPoker, which I believe is the best place to play right now. And I approached CoinPoker to try to get some deals, and so please use my code GUMPTION to get deposit bonuses as well as free coaching from myself. It's a site that I genuinely like and genuinely play on the most myself, otherwise I wouldn't be recommending it like I do. And it is the best way to support me in the channel just by checking it out. They got 100% rate back at the micros, so it is a nice place to play. And they've been doing some really cool, good stuff. But for now, let's jump into the action right here at the Russian cash. 2-3-5-8, not a nice run out for me. King Jack also has a bunch of showdown value, so I'm happy to check this one down. Lose to some ace highs, that's fine. Beat most of the other king highs. Well, actually all of them on the Queen River. Ace deuce 9. You can pick a few different strategies here. I like to go a little bit more polar, so checking back my weak ace X and betting the turn here. I've spoken about this concept before. We want to get one street likely with our hand. Let's get it now on the turn because we can improve to a straight on the river, and then we'll want more than one street rather than check back and only get one street when the 3 rolls out. 4s, king, queen, deuce. We're going to go big size here. You can also go small size. I like to go big, but depending on your strategy. But yeah, I like to go a little bit more polar. Typically the high broadways, you get a little bit extra EV in going bigger, but not a huge deal. We'll go about 40% on the jack 8 deuce. So really you can see we're just using our poker knowledge to make good decisions. Our theory, our fundamentals. The king is close. It's a pretty good card for us. I'm going to go ahead and keep betting. Could also do an overbet with the ace jack. Ace, ooh, we got a double cash drop pot here. Ace queen, we call the 3-bet. Going to call c-bet obviously with our top pair. And they do check on the jack. I'm going to fire this one. It is a card I see them slowing down a bit. Certainly not all in bluffing on rivers because we've got the jacks. But yeah, I think we do want to bet our hand here. Could probably go a 3rd in position in theory. But I don't think anything wrong with the half pot either. And then we have a pretty easy check back here with ace queen versus a pretty typically polarized BB versus UTG range. We're not doing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show it down. We do lose to the kings, and the 10-5 is super close. I'll peel one, but without the backdoor I wouldn't be calling this. Could be convinced we should be folding. We are getting an insane price though, so I think it's worth trying. We do get our turn flush draw. We're not going to be leading on this card. I mean, there's probably no cards we can really lead on. Everyone's just so close in equity here. But yeah, we're definitely calling turn. Not a bad river. Obviously reduces the amount of queen X they can have. And looks like wow, they have aces, so unfortunately we lose a decent pot. So we check back. We're going to call with the 9s, but it's certainly not an amazing spot. And now we have 9 high on the river. They will have some underpairs that give up. I'm actually going to give this one up. I mean, they're not going to fold the flush, but I don't expect too many check folds from them. Eight, 9 on the button with this rake structures close. Both players look to be 3-betting a bit, so I'll just fold it. So I do adjust a little pre-flop depending on who's behind me and the action and all of that. And I do need to remember to put on my streaming mode. Just give me a sec to go activate that. So just flatting the queen 10 suited. Could start to 3-bet it, but we're going very, very polarized from the BB. And let me activate stream. Big shout out to Jude Moody. Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you. We got streamer mode. We could go big bet. I guess with the small stack, we definitely want to go small with ace-5. Could probably just min bet. Not too huge of a deal. We've got a 0% 3-bet so far. I'll go ahead and 3-bet the 7-8 suited. We'll be mixing this one at a very low frequency. We'll go ahead and bet. Blocking the set of 7s is nice, and just starting to charge the overcards is fine. King, I guess against the small stack I'll see bet the king jack small. Get to 3-bet out aces. We do get the call, get this ace high board, so typically top set in a lot of situations you can check. I think this is a board that does fit the bill. The king is just also so powerful for us. I think with the hearts out there though, gonna go ahead and start betting. But the flop check is, you know, for our kings and queens, some weak ace X. Occasional give ups. But yeah, just gonna go ahead and bet on the king turn. And yeah, when you flop a set of aces on ace 3-6, you are blocking a ton of calls, so we are just going to get that through a ton. Check calling again, certainly fine and reasonable, certainly against the right opponents too. Always checking is good, or potentially always betting depending on reads, but yeah, just readless. Go for the check, and then on the flush turn start to bet it. We can... I'm going to go pot with the 8-6. We could also overbet. Maybe we should. Maybe less likely against the shorty. The ace queen, they 3-bet. I'm going to actually check back on this one. Spot where they'll be wanting to check raise and stuff a lot. The queen we just have to check again. At a big disadvantage with no ace king. We did value bet the 8-6 and we went a bit of an exploitative size, but I think jamming would be the standard size we use there. Yeah, we just have to value bet the ace queen now. Just hope to not see a check raise. So interesting, we got to note this one, that they 3-bet. It's Friday night, 1999. It's Mr. Gumption, aka Lemonhouse, aka Davy Jones, GLGL today. Not even close comparisons, but I appreciate you Friday night. Yeah, long way to go before I get to Davy Jones status, but someone reach out to Davy Jones and let him know that I'd love to be a student of the legend himself. But just loving poker, enjoying it a lot. Got lots to learn, for sure. Got to increase the fundamentals. You know, put out a first little feeler video on YouTube yesterday, which I thought was pretty good. And depending on how that one goes, I might continue that as like almost a little series. So this king, they do find the overbet. Really nice bet for them to make. I'm going to call. I unblock decently. What's happened here with the king 10? We call flop, so I think we can just bluff river. It's close though. We almost have enough showdown value. This queen 10 is going to be a really interesting spot because we block the queen jack. They still do have a lot of queen jack combos though, because they have all 16, so we do block some of them. Panoram 67. Hang on, I'll get to the chat in a second. I got some spots here. Unfortunately, king 10 gets high called by 8s. That's fine. I mean, we block really well. This is a really nice blocker call, I would say, with Queen 10. It does depend, though, because some people are not going to bluff the hearts anyway, in which case I kind of want the Queen of Hearts. Like, if they continue the hearts and diamonds, then I would rather call this one. We beat 8-9, we beat Jack 9, Queen 9. And we beat some suited connector stuff. I think I might call this one. I do expect to see Queen Jack, Kings, Aces, 10 sometimes. But yeah, Jack 9 is in there. We do make the right call. We're off to a solid start. We read that situation quite right. They did bluff with the 9 of hearts, so that's really worth noting as well. Just note that now. Oh, tough spot here with the jacks. I guess we call, but yeah, not loving life. We can get to the chat. Panoram67, aka a person who should work as a radio presenter. GL indeed, thank you. If you 250% the river on the Jack King King board, how often do you think he folds the flush, if at all? It's a good question. I'm not sure. I think it'd be very villain dependent. I really can't confidently say either way, but it's worth thinking about. But I don't want to go, like, they can just check full houses too. GL on the session, thank you iBoss, as always, you're an absolute legend. Jacks, I'm just going to have to fold on the turn here. But yeah, like, you can just see even, you know, like a nice hero call with the Queen 10, but I'm just using my poker knowledge to know what they should be doing with their range and what I should be doing and what makes candidates for a good bluff catcher. We want to call half our range with just strongest equity, and then the next half with best blockers, and that's one of the best blockers. Blocking 10s, blocking King 10, Ace 10, Queen Jack, unblocking flush draws seems good, but maybe it's not, I don't know. Let's see, the sixes, we flat pre, probably a little loose in these games. 6-5, they check back. We can do a few different things here. I might go pot. Let's just go B75 actually. I'm gonna go 1/3 with the queen. So we're gonna be betting 1/3 and checking a lot. Small blind, big blind. We see them raise, so very easy. Easy call. Is your GTOW link only for new signups? I think so. I'm not 100% sure on the rules. Hungry Croco21, shout out to you. Sorry I haven't updated the results, but it's been a very good month. The CoinPoker has been going amazing. I've got some serious heat over there. Been playing very well and excited to share that all with you, but just planning to kind of upload each month as they come. But my best month so far, which is cool. Fives. Do we want to lead on the 10? I think we kind of do. It's going to be tricky for me to come up with many bluffs that call turn to lead river, so I like this one. I unblocked the spades, and they did have Queen 10, which I never expected because they check back flop, so I didn't think the turn bets would contain a queen all that often. Like King Queen betting flop. Close spot here with the King Jack. Close spot here with the 10s. I believe we called it 3 bets. I'm just going to check it over. This one was multi-way. They bet 4BB on the flop. So it'd have to be like Ace Queen. I don't know what other Ace X there is. I'm going to go ahead and call. Oh, it's the 9. They went for thin value correctly with the 9. Well played. We can do whatever with the Jack 10. I'll 3-bet it this time. And we do have a full house here with the 10s. I think on the 4 flush, I'll go ahead and check, hoping that they're still thin value bet like Queen High and Jack High flushes. Obviously, ace high flush is just a cooler, but that's going to bet, so we can just check shove on that, and they may just smooth call if we like lead for pot. Expect most of the king X to bet turn, so getting thin value from trips I think is less likely. Yeah, just going to jam river. We see a fairly quick call. We 3-bet the king's going to go half on the queen high. But going 1/3 as a strategy is also fine and good. When the flush hits, we do want to start sizing down a little bit. I think half pot's probably small enough though. Yeah, maybe we go a little smaller. 8s is close. I think this player's a little bit more on the looser side. Great call, Davy Jones. I appreciate you. It's Friday night. Eyeballs, send us a message on Discord or here on Twitter, please. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Damn well played. Thank you. Relax. 1188. Appreciate you coming in to say that. That's very kind of you. Thanks for tuning in. Going to go small bet with the ace-3, but we could go bigger if we want to. The king-6, yeah, like I was saying, I like to go a little bit polar. Going to check this one back, and I think in theory we like check backs. I think, yeah, I'll just keep checking it back. It's obviously unfortunate to get the 4 club run out, but I can still pick some bluffs off here, and they've gone super small, so I actually don't mind losing to a flush as well. And they went, I guess, for a very thin value. Seems strange. We did lose a little bit extra by checking back there, but not a huge deal. Well, maybe not. We would have... depends. If we bet big on the flop, we win an extra 2 BB or whatever. I guess I have to call hitting the pair. Could consider bluffing the ace-queen here. I think I'll just fold it. I'm worried about going too crazy with offsuit combos. As soon as you start bluffing some offsuit stuff, you're way over bluffing the spot. They're both uncapped in that they can just have aces kings. So I do want to be careful. Whereas if I had ace-queen suited, I'm not going to get too far out of line by just, it's only 4 combos bluffing, so... Let's go! Sasha Nicholas, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. A decent start to the sesh. Ace King, we just try and show it down. It's not a great run out for us. We see the BB just checking down top pair cautiously. Which is fair enough. They could consider some thin value, but... Ace King 6 a really nice board for us. We could pot. I'm just going to go ahead and pot it. Can overbet it. Can go 3/4. Doesn't really matter. But you do want to be going big bet. Get a couple of big blinds in EV. Going to check our medium strength on Ace Queen 3. A board that we're checking a lot anyways. But certainly this hand really is trying to get to showdown. On the flush turn, very bad turn for us. And if this was an offsuit too, I could continue with 6-7. But the flush we both hit. They're probably not folding any, and they're unlikely to play many check raises on the flop. So they just have tons of flushes. We're not blocking any, so pretty easy give up. And on Ace Jack 7, I think half pot or check is fine. I'm going to check this time. Yo, everyone, we are back. Shout out to you all. Thank you to all who has stuck around. I'm gonna chuck a CoinPoker game up here. Make sure that the tables are correct. Give me a second. There we go. And make this table sorry guys, it's kind of hard for me to make sure I'm on the right table. There we go. Nice. I kind of want them to be... kind of want it to be on the other side though. Whoops. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do it like that. And get Russian cash over here. There we go. Big shout out to everyone tuning in. And CoinPoker is the site that I play most on, so kind of wanted to showcase some of those games a bit too. But thank you again everyone for tuning in and everyone who stuck around. And the cool thing about the CoinPoker game here, and it's not every table but only if you choose, is that it is a show table, so you get to see everything at Showdown, which I think it makes it really fun for the stream experience. Chat properly up there. Yeah, the ace jack, we 3-bet get cold call. I'm not going to put in too much more money. It was already a loose 3-bet pre-flop in the first place, so yeah, I'm not looking to put money in multi-way, especially against the cold call on the button. They should be very, very tight. King 3, we can open if we want to. Small blind looks wild, but they're like 3-betting a lot and stuff, so I just worried that it's not going to work out profitably for me. Ace 4 won't play well enough multi-way, so I will fold it. Jack 10, we're trying to get to showdown here. If we do bet, we're going to go for a small bet size on the monotone again, because we're close in equity. When we're close in equity, we want to use smaller bet sizes. Let's 3-bet the ace 7 against Hannah, who calls very quickly. A snap call. We get a low board, that's very nice for us. We go pot size bet on this one. And then yeah, too thin to value bet the turn. Just gonna showdown and hope we have the best hand, and we do. And the 7-4, this is just a fold. They could have bet flop quite a lot with air. So they have to just check back with air and then decide to bet. But they can have like Queen X, strong Queen X, some pocket kings. I'm just not sure if they're playing their air that way, but I could be wrong. Maybe we folded the best hand. But it won't be a huge deal. The Jack 5 I'm going to wait because this 19 VPIP's pretty tight, so it's probably worth me trying to limp in. We got a pretty good board, so we're definitely going to range bet this one. A little bit strange that they would raise flop. Very strange. Guess I call because, like, yeah, I'm going to lead this turn too because we block the Jack 10. Let's check call the king. Oh, now we get there. We get to see what they raised us with. I'm going to check because if it's club, which I have a feeling it's skewed toward, they may want to bluff this. So we're going to call and have a look and see if we were right. We're wrong. They actually have king 7 of diamonds, which is super surprising because I would expect that one to ISO a bit as well, but yeah, so against that player we need to play like a pretty legit limping strategy to punish the thin-ish raise, but it's kind of like solver approved to go in that direction. We have the King Jack winning against Hannah's overbet on the turn. Sorry, I couldn't get to that one. There's too much going on. But yeah, got that horribly wrong with the Jack 5. Absolute spew play from us. Just, you know, tried to soul read, got it wrong. I'm going to check back the 10-9 sometimes. The Ace Queen, this is a pretty good board for us. I'm going to go half pot. Small blind button. Ace 8. Oof. They kind of, everything gets there on this run out. But it's checked down to the river, so I think we can call it. I expected flush draws to bet turn, so got that one wrong again. Ace Queen, the Jack's pretty good for us to barrel on. Yeah, let's go ahead and bet it. At this point, putting the pressure on the pocket pairs quite a lot in Dartford's range. And the play does work, and they do get to see the bluff. It is a show table, which is a bit of fun. I missed what happened here with the Ace 4. Normally I would just check down, but I'm going to bet in case I had fast fold on, which they didn't, so now the bet kind of sucks. It didn't make a difference, but we would have had the best hand probably for sure if they're folding. Yeah, let's 3-bet the 10-9 suited. The Ace 3 will start with check. And could go either way with the 10-9. They just seem pretty nitty so far. I'm just going to fold. Ace 3 should mostly check raise, but I didn't want to use a time bank. I think I ended up using it anyway. But check calling's totally okay, but I think we do want to mix in a decent amount of check raises with it. But we do call, we do get the lovely turn. And interesting spot. Just don't know how many bluffs I have. I'm going to pot river. Not sure if I have enough bluffs to go too big. It's close also, like wanting to play a check raise, but I think it might be a little thin to check raise like a massive pot. The Queen 3 off versus min with the antes I think is going to be maybe just okay to call. We get to play a little wider in the antes and more favorable rake structure on coin, which is a bit of fun. But yeah, just completely brick the flop, and yeah, they show a very nice hand. The 10s, they've gone massive. They've only played 37 hands. They're already 3-betting quite a lot. I guess I call, but I mean, it's a small sample. And they just shove flop instantly. Oh, man. I guess I fold. I don't know what to make of it, but who knows? When they shove flop, I'm kind of glad that I called, in a way. Shoving on a board they're not meant to, so they're going to make mistakes post flop. And I'm just going to finish noting that King 7 hand. Because like they bet 14 into 21 on the river with the flush earlier on with the hand that we made a big mistake on, so that kind of tells us a lot. So yeah, we're not raising much on Ace Queen 6, just doing a lot of calling. And usually we would check this one back with the flush draw. I'm gonna bet it. Yeah, I think I go a little larger. I'm betting a little bit polar on the turn. And then this river I get to just check back. Pretty standard, easy stuff. Be too weak to go all 3 streets. They do have Queen 10 suited. Love to see it. Ace Jack just an easy fold. The Jack 9 on 10-8-5 is close. I'm going to go ahead and go about B40, but doing a bit of checking back. It hits the small blind range like decently. Our hand can do whatever though. It is nice to put it in the check back sometimes, but like 7 is nice to hit, but the queen we kind of hit pretty well anyway with some ace queens in our range. I guess queens is mostly c betting, but yeah. So on the turn we just check back, realize our equity. Let's go 8 BBs. We're deep with Hannah. And yeah, just gonna show down our 9, hope it wins. It does against ace 3 suited. So I got to note that they didn't bluff that one. Very strange. Could mean that they're very passive, or it also could mean that they just felt like they had enough showdown value. Or perhaps on the king that they just weren't getting enough folds. There's a few different reasons. It's 3-bet again against Hannah. This time we have it. Big shout out to Andreas198222. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. And yeah, let's call them 6-7 suited in position. We're a little bit deep, which helps. 139 effective. But yeah, unfortunately just missed the flop, and they should range bet this one. It's pretty good for them. Ace 4, the 3, 5, 6. So this is important to note that they do have a donking range, so their checks will be a little weaker. But yeah, this hand we get to call. We could probably even raise sometimes against this size. I think this time I'm going to call, but worth considering with the double gutter. And easy call again on the turn. I don't really want to start raising without blocking 7-9. Winning hand always shows on the coin table. So every hand will show on the coin table, not the folds though. But yeah, every hand is shown, which is kind of cool. Makes for a really fun experience streaming. Because there's less what's the word, like there's less there's a nice word for it, but essentially, you know, the informational disadvantage from streaming is severely reduced on a must-show table, because we get to see what hands are at showdown anyway. Yeah, let's just keep checking the queens. I'm not going to get more than a street from anything under a queen anyway, I'd assume. Checking induces bluffs, so I win more versus bluffs. If I go into a check call line, I'm only getting a street anyway, like, and I block so much queen X to call me. And if they have a 10, they should be looking to stack anyway. So yeah, just let's hope they have Jack 9, 2 spades, whatever, ace 6 of spades. We go B40 with the king 7. Sounds like an interesting dynamic. I wonder how the psychology of that plays out. It's awesome, and it plays out in many different ways. I've been really enjoying playing on it. It makes it tricky to multi-table though. Like if I have too many, I only try to usually have 1 or 2 must shows up. Yeah, just because it gets wild. And yeah, we get the 3/4 bet on the river, get to jam the full house, which is cool. Oh, they do have the spades. Love to see it. Go 3.5x blind on blind. Let's open the 8-9. The players are looking to be playing a bit too tight. 10-9 deuce, we're going to go 1/3 or check a decent amount. Let's have a look here. Yeah, let's go 1/3. In the one hand, feels like you would tend to bluff less since they will see it. On the other hand, people often pay to see. So when it's removed, they may fold. What? Yep, after making bluffs more profitable. You're spot on there, man. And I honestly, I think overall, I feel like I see... It's hard to know because you're just seeing more in general. But I do feel like I see a lot of bluffs on the show tables. Maybe a lot more. I don't know if that's actually true, but it feels like in general, people are bluffing more on it. Because people kind of do fold a little more because you kind of do get to see it. Yeah, I do think it... You wouldn't think it should factor in, but I think it actually does. We get the cash drop pot, another 20 BB one, which is wild. Unfortunately, only 8 deuce off. I don't think we're meant to limp it. Both? I mean, Shy's looking a little... Yeah, I don't know, I'll fold. Shy should be wanting to jam quite a lot. Yeah, sweet. We saved a big blind. It's always fun to limp in for the sweat, but easy to bleed. I think I bleed a lot by going a little bit too wide. 8 deuce off, obviously pretty low down in the range. Let's flat the 7s. BB looks tight anyway. 3-bet the queen jack suited, and yeah, against this size we'll just call the 7s. Don't forget they got, like, you know, jack 6 suited and just tons of air in their range. King queen off. We do face a small 4-bet from Fernando, but I think I'll fold this one. Stable 4-betting deep. Gonna mix this between 4-bet and call. Call this time. Big shout out to 4Funds. Thank you so much for the follow. Stable betting 1/4. Yeah, let's smooth call. I think we could also raise as well. Let's go for a raise here. Do we just stack against Victor? Maybe, eh? Well, maybe not on this board. We get the fold. Kind of wish I went a little bigger against Stable on the turn here. But they believe it. It works out well. Probably should have sized up a little bigger, I think. But certainly a very credible line, and I've got a lot of strong hands there. I really like my play there. It's important to find enough bluffs. Let's call this 10s versus 3-bet. Don't want to go too much into detail against Stable. A very good player, watches the stream, play with them all the time. So if anything, I got to remember to not commentate when we play hands. They get to see enough already. They get to see way too much. I wish I could blur all the hands against them. The 10s. Oof, this is close. I'm just going to fold. Seems very close though. 5s is a fold. And yeah, we just get to ISO the ace-queen against the limper. No table select here on coin. I just took the first available, like pretty much the worst table I could find. really nice board. I'm going to check the ace-queen. It's actually not like... I mean, it's okay. It hits them really well too, and I've just got so much equity, but they're a player who... yeah. They're just not going to make... They're not going to fold any kind of a worse hand yet anyway. Once they check back and show weakness, I'm going to go for overbet here. Seems good. Get to show them the bluff. And adds to the dynamic, right? They've seen us go 2x with a bluff. So against some players we want to continue going 2x as a bluff, against others we want to not do that. It's really fun, and really depends on the player, how they think. 8-9 can mix here. I'm going to fold this time. Again, high rake. We want to be very careful about putting in too much money. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. I do appreciate you all a lot. Hope you're all having an awesome one. Transparency, maybe. Less uncertainty about whether your fold was good or not is what you were trying to say. Yeah, definitely. They're really tight. I guess I fold the queen nine. They're short as well, so... not every table is show table on coin, so most of them are not. But if you seek them out, they're, you know, it's an option, so just keep that in mind. I was going to gift and sub, but that was me with the 7-6 spades. Oh no. Meow. Unlucky. Unlucky, bro. Just a 100% cooler. Kind of funny. But thank you for the follow, Meow. And hard luck. I'm sure, you know, that cooler 0 EV, so it is what it is. Spew, please. Thank you so much for the follow. And don't worry, I do plenty of spewing. Queen 10. Let's go for a 1/3. I mean, checking back's totally okay too. Either way is fine. Jack 10's going to be super loose, but just okay, I think. Could be wrong. I know I was overcalling a lot on the BB with the rake structures. And I did just get a nice table. Over here. Fun player has sat down on a show table. We get to stack first hand against them, and they have Jack 4. So not a great start for us. Got 10 outs though. We don't get there. Had same hand, ace king of diamonds. Nice play. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. River pretty puke. Very puke for you, man. Some rivers can be deadly in the most siren-like way. 100%. It is poker. Let's go half pot here with the ace king. Couple of fun looking players on this table. Oops, I can sit back in the other one now. We're all set. We're all set. We will open Queen 9. Jack 10, we don't lead this board, and then the King 5, 7. I'm going to start sizing up a little bit with the monotone nature. Decent board for us, can start betting. Jack's quite good. We can go overbet here with the double flush right there. They're going to have King Jack and some non-check raises of like King 7, but yeah, overall I think this is just a really nice turn. Jack 10, we just have to check river and decide. Pretty nice spot for us to check raise it, I would say. We have a lot of straights here, and we block the Queen Jack, which is nice. So I think this is a great spot to go for check raise. The Queen 9 will call versus Donk. Hi, GL, thank Razbatina for tuning in. And unfortunately, they do shove. So I'm assuming they had it. Would have been a very tough spot there with the lower straight. Guess I fold the Queen 9. Let's see. Okay, they had it. They had it. They had us crushed. You beat GG Rush and L200 pre-rake back. I do indeed. As you can see up on the screen, I've got the challenge up there. I've got my results so far as well. So yeah, I can comfortably say that I'm beating these games. Post-rake. Happy to see you getting 100 plus views. Feel like every stream there's more people tuning in, which is absolutely deserved, of course. Yeah, thank you. Really nice to see you grow the channel. Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate that a lot. I have been trying, and honestly, I was, you know, I'm not shy by saying like I was not sure if I would keep streaming or not. But I've seen a little bit of growth lately, so I'm feeling motivated to continue. It does take a lot away to stream, so I'm hoping to keep growing so that it can all pay off. I do enjoy it too, but you know, giving up so much for free, just giving out so much info to opponents is a risk. This is a pretty nice turn card, but not one I want to overbet on with the King Jack. But it is one I want to barrel a lot on, and my hand makes sense to barrel too. Got a lot of equity. Block okay, block Ace Jack, but the Ace King, obviously they're 3-betting that pre. Queen 5-7, we're going to we're not pure, but really high frequency c-bet. We got a really good hand to c-bet with. This player likes to go pretty like linear, so they're going to have more Queen X in this check raise. Therefore, I'm actually going to fold. I would rather continue against a more polarized range where like Ace High is winning. We still have the best hand there. Sometimes we've got the back door, so I can consider bet calling, but I just don't think they're necessarily bluffing me enough. Man, you're such a legend. Literally the best Russian cash player on GG. Keep it up. Thank you, Turbo, my ass QT. I appreciate that a lot. I would like to think I was maybe, you know, maybe one of the best Russian cash. Not that, you know, there's a lot, many, or every good player doesn't even bother playing it. But I'd like to think in the pool that, yeah, I perhaps am the best. So thank you. Appreciate that. Jack 10 off out of range for calling, third on BB. GTO calls out at 17%. Yeah, okay. Good to know. I did think it was close. Little bit rusty on some of my pre-flop ranges. Yeah, Ace 10 we call because they made it so small pre-flop, especially with the antes. And we just have to decide now. I think the Ace and the 10 blocks a lot of bluffs. Could float to like rep some stuff, but I think it's probably a little too loose. Glad I didn't try. Let's just check call the king queen. We will play some check raises, but much more polar against hijack. We can check raise this a little more often versus like a button open. Hijack a much tighter range. King queen already not, you know, wanting to check raise that much. The threshold of hand strength isn't high enough. And yeah, just an easy call on this turn. Queen of clubs, not a great card, blocking a lot of the hands they may want to bluff with. Shout out to you, Frank Jacks 98. Do chop against the king queen. But thanks for checking that, Turbo. We got Meowth, now brown color, friend of the stream tag. We flop. Really well versed them. We're going to overbet turn. That's the check back. They have only kings. They don't. Well, I guess it's possible they check back some ace king. Maybe we should check again. Actually, not because I'm scared, but because they still might have a decent betting range. And then we can play some check raises on this turn, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and do that. They fall very quickly, so hopefully we want an extra bet. I was gonna, you know, I was considering just overbetting turn, so given how fast they folded, probably it gained a little bit more EV by checking. Let's just go 3 versus this player. And then with the 10-9 we can 3-bet sometimes, call sometimes. I think 3-betting a decent amount though. And let's limp the queen 4. The 10-9, let's check back. I think betting would be okay too though. And the king 4. I'm just going to go small bet here. I've got the back door, got the gut shot. And of course our worst nightmare, them raising us very quickly. I think there's low implied odds on the 10, so I'm just going to fold. They had a pretty legit hand. I mean, like a strong hand, but very merged. And the 10-9, this feels super close. I guess we just have to call one street. And they did well to go for some thinner value. We're going to flat the king 8 against the Wale. And we get a very lovely flop against them. Their aggression's quite high, so I think it just makes sense to call rather than try and raise them off anything. Just going to keep calling and just jam rivers. And on the king, I'm actually going to keep betting the 9s for value. It's a card that we bet a really high frequency on. Big shout out to Johnny Drama 123. Big shout out to Wizard. Thank you all for the follow so much. Appreciate you all tuning in. And let me continue on these calming, relaxing background music. Oops, it's the wrong one. Given the extra equity, I'm going to go half pot on ace 3-4. We still want to bet this flop sometimes. See this snap check raise. It is a board they get to check raise a bit on. Oh, they went so big. I guess I fold. Again, I don't know. I was going to say low implied odds, but I actually think we have okay implied odds on the 5 turn. Yeah, we want to 4-bet the queens. Yeah, get a nice flop. Do our usual 1/4. You can see the, like, just from what we've seen, no table selection of the 1-2. Like, the win rate is just so much higher on those coin tables. You've got a more favorable rake, and you've just got, like, players going silly. It's... You can develop reads. It is a slower hand per hour, of course, but Yeah, I mean, we could just check the queens, try and trap. I like to just keep betting, especially in these pools. I like to also barrel and bluff sometimes, so I want to make sure I'm not imbalanced. And if I am going to trap, I prefer to do it with aces that need less protection. Queens, you know, doesn't want to see a king or an ace. Relatively safe river. They'll definitely have some backdoors and maybe the occasional, like 7-8 suited that 3-bet call 4-bet, but for the most part, a really nice run out. And if I was bluffing, would continue a decent amount. But yeah, unfortunately, just call a 4-bet with 6s and the c-bet. So they get to stack me if they hit their 2-outer. No problem. Just gonna note, because it's kind of loose. Unlucky to us, but I think yeah, nice winning strategy from us in the long run. And ace 5-6. I mean, this hand, we're going to go b40. We do benefit quite a lot from them folding. It's mostly going to be 2 overcards, so happy to have them fold 10-9 off or whatever. And a big shout out again to everyone tuning in. We'll probably stream for another 20 minutes or so, see how we go. Eights, it's whatever. Let's gamble and flat on the button. Could 3-bet it sometimes. Could fold. I can get behind any decision. I'm actually gonna fold because we're drawing dead sometimes. BB's gonna continue a lot as well. We just don't have much of a reason to want to keep putting money in there with the 8s, I reckon. Queen Jack, maybe a little loose, but like button looks weak, BB looks weak. So I'm just gonna go for it. See the check raise there with a set on the show table. McDeo with a very legit hand here. It's an unfortunate turn, but a lovely river. Just note that one. Pause multi-way, we can simply fold. King 10 suited can 3-bet a decent amount here. Go ahead and do just that. And yeah, I'm going to 3-bet the aces. And I'm actually going to go 1/3. Actually, you know what? I'm going to check this one. We'll check sometimes here, and this is a nice hand to do it with. Shout out to you, Super Akula. Thank you so much. Let's go B50 on the A7 deuce. Again, without the high card advantage, so different to like ace king deuce where we do go for big bet. We're going to start checking, and then yeah, when they don't bet, when Hannah doesn't bet, let's just start betting ourselves now with aces. Back on coin, love to see it. Yes, thank you, iBoss. We had our account closed for a bit, which I think is a good thing because they were, you know, doing their due diligence of security. Let's call again with the ace queen. Yeah, so just had to pass their security checks, and we got the account back, so we're back on coin, which is nice. And yeah, Evil Smile repping ace 7, deuces, and 7s. Or the ace 5 because of the fun player involved. Tough one here with ace queen. Tough one here. Just player dependent. I don't know if they have enough bluffs. Like, it's just a weird spot to bluff. They have to take some random air hands and do it with that. I don't know. I'll make a hero fold. Not recommended to fold there. They're repping so thin, but ace 5 is close. I think I'll fold it. Yeah, not surprised to see them have some random hand. But I don't think I could do too much more than just fold. First Hannah here. We will bet 1/3. We're gonna peel with the queen 10. Pretty okay turn for us. We're checking some 4-5 though. But yeah, we definitely get to bluff this quite a lot. I think I'm gonna go pot because I can pot my 8x, my 6x, my 4-5. Maybe I could almost go 2x. Maybe I do want to go 2x. Let's do it. It's a spot where they'll check back some overpairs and stuff, and so I can really put the pressure on with a 2x bet there. Let's see if deep stack is 3-betting. So it's a small sample. They're not 3-betting much this session. So I'll call. I don't mind playing a pot with them. Yeah, we got a really nice board. We're not going to play any leads though. And versus a check back. We have like a mid pocket pairs and then some broadways. So I think I'll just go half pot. Like I want to just bet like pocket 5s. I want to bluff king jack. And then we can play some different sizes on the river. I kind of like just a half pot there. Maybe we can go a little bigger though. Yeah, I don't know. The small pairs that we have a lot of just want to bet small for thin value and protection. King 10 will defend blind on blind. They check really quickly. Kind of tells me that they might be range checking this one. I'm going to check back. Got a bit of equity. And yeah, king obviously quite nice for us. They don't bet it, which is interesting. So now I'm wondering if they've got like 3-4... 4-5 type hands. I'm going to go through bets B75. They snap call, and I think I can just pot river here. Had some couple very rough sessions, so you're supposed to take a little break. That's good. Talking about a game that you guys are playing. Sorry about the rough session, Sasha. Hopefully, we can turn that around pretty soon. So this is blind on blind, we raise. And yeah, I don't really want to bet Jack 8 air on this board that they hit quite well. We can just check fold it. Let's 3-bet the ace jack off. Yeah, let's bet about B40-ish with the deuces on queen 3-10. Got the 2 of hearts, which is somewhat relevant. And this other king 10 suited. I prefer check back. We got some showdown. And I'm going to go mergey here. I don't think I want to overbet on the 3 necessarily, but I think pot's good. We're going to get called by like king jack and some flush draws, and then 10x is going to fold, pocket 5s are going to fold. So I like the merge bet there with the deuces. The king 10 we're still doing decently against their small blind open. Again, they're going to have random, you know, queen 7 suited type stuff that we're just beating. Sometimes it's got a jack, so this is why they get to bet the jack as well. Close spot. What's nice is they wouldn't bet ace highs, so if I call I beat those. But I think the 10's not great, blocking 9, 10, 7, 10. I'm going to check back the ace queen 7 and play it a bit polar when I do c-bet. We get a cash drop pot. And yeah, when they go this small size on the turn, I'm going to raise our 2 pair. Limp in the 10-8 off in the cash drop. And interesting spot for our ace deuce on the turn. I kind of think if by overbetting they may not believe us. It's a little thin though, but they can have like ace jack, ace 10 to call. And I think that I don't know if they go small bet call with like many flushes. So I don't mind this play too much. The 3's pretty bricky. But unfortunately, they do just have the flush, so I got that horribly wrong. But you know, we got to go on our reads and thoughts, and we can note that one. Again, if they're playing in a way that I don't expect, I will note it. So they really protected their small bet range and strategy there on the turn. 4's not going to call versus 6.5 in these positions, although we can sometimes, and it is nice to have, like, we want to mix the low pairs kind of equally, just to cover an equal amount of different sets rather than like pure calling. I think I've got something for you, Sasha. Let me find it. We got the double gutter here with the 5's going to make the call. We still have some showdown value as well. Played, I think versus half and having the 5 of diamonds and just fold. You see the fast fold there. Might be able to get some cheaper options for GTO with, so hold that thought, Sasha. But I'll organize all that off stream. Ace 10. Gonna fold versus 3-bet. It's not going to play very well versus 3-bet ranges. And yeah, a little bit unfortunate-ish ending to the stream, but overall a really nice session today, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to look to wrap up the sesh. But thank you again everyone for all the kind words, all the support. I will sit out these games. And yeah, call it here for now. Again, every Tuesday, Friday streaming, most Saturdays as well. So thank you all. Please don't forget to check out CoinPoker with code GUMPTION, the best way to support me. And you can get some nice deposit bonuses, some free coaching if you're into that. Let's check the ace king against Vanny. Can also bet it. We're checking to check call. Gonna go B75 on the ace. Really nice card for us. And if we're not pure betting 9-4-3, so we have quite a few bluffs, and we're betting the ace like really often. So I want to go ahead and do that with ace king. Obviously the queen a really terrible river. But they still have like ace 5 that can hero call, which will pure check back. Same with ace jack. They got probably ace jack offsuit. I'd rather go for thin value shove here. I'm going to get snapped by ace queen sometimes, but not this time, so that's good. But they don't call me, unfortunately. But it is a spot where I'm going to play some bluffs too. And so I want to start going like a little bit thinner there. But I could get behind a smaller bet on the river and not a jam. Think about that one a little more. Doing some checking back on 10-8-9, and then go half pot with our 2 pair on the turn. The deuce 3. I think against this sizing we can play some raises. Like, them folding anything is great for our hand. And then it's a value bet because they can continue with some ace highs and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good, like, weird, mergy, blockery kind of a play. Just an easy check back on the turn and we'll decide river. Jack 10-4. Let's go 1/3 here. They just call. We can start sizing up on the turn. Get to call the 3 into the 16. And unfortunately get value town by ace 3. And this ace king, I think it's a reasonable candidate to shove. They're gonna have some 10x. We beat king queen and ace queen though, so maybe we have like enough showdown, but then they might bluff those off. Let's go for the shove. We block king jack and ace jack, which is really nice. So I'm not trying to get ace jack to fold. So unfortunately, we did run into it. But don't hate the play. I mean, I wouldn't do that pure, but I think sometimes it's totally okay. Sesh wasn't today last week. Oh, I see. Some bad luck and some punts. Ran into some calling stations. Didn't control my frequencies. All good. Yeah, sorry. It happens to all of us, eh? But yeah. We can all turn it around. Don't worry, Sasha, I believe. Thank you again, everyone. Hope to see you guys next Friday for Rush and Cash Friday. Hope you enjoyed today's sesh. A bit of an unfortunate ending, but... you know, went okay. Could have gone a lot worse. And yeah, it was great to have you all tune in and share all the love, all the kind words. So see you all again soon. Until next time, I'll find a channel 2 raid. Peace.